Facebook fans, we are hitting almost 30 subscribers. Exciting stuff happening in the podcast for Fit for Life. I'm super excited to kind of share my life with you and share my story. This is going to be the deepest I've ever gone into my life, talking about some of the negatives that has happened in my life along the way of entrepreneurship, because we're going to talk about entrepreneurship, which I love. I mean, I am a true entrepreneur. I believe it is such a gift to be one, but it is the hardest job in the world. And why is it the hardest job in the world? Because, for example, if I take a vacation, I don't have anybody else working for me. I'm losing that money. So I have to go and I have to make sure that if I'm to take something, I gotta make it back. And I, for 10 years, have not taken a vacation once, no holidays, no sick days. And that's what true entrepreneurship is dedicating your whole being, dedicating your whole self to your gift, to your love, to your craft, whatever that may be. And when you do dedicate your gift to your craft, then what happens is you start to appreciate life. You start to make sure that you're not missing days. I find that some people, when they have a job, they start to even make sick days. They start to create sick days before they even start. They are deciding they're not going to work tomorrow. When you're an entrepreneur, you don't have that time. You know you have to be there, and you want to be there. It doesn't feel like work. It doesn't matter if I have to wake up at 4:30 in the morning. I'm never like, oh shit, this is gonna suck. I don't do that to myself because I don't want to do that to my day. What I do is I make myself excited about it. You know what? I'm gonna get as much possibly done by 5. I start at 4:30, I'm going to get as much possibly done by 9, 10 o'clock. That's going to build productiveness. That's going to build momentum. That's going to build me having a better day, having a better mindset. So when I start this Monday and I want to rock this week, if I start on a slow Monday, my week is going to be shit. So it is so crucial that for you, if you want to change things, you got to start doing things. You got to start building momentum. And that doesn't mean just work out, although you should do something for yourself. I believe self-care, that's the very first thing you can do. And if that means you have kids and you have to wake up earlier, that's magic. That's gold. When the world is silent, you go and the world is silent and you get an hour to 2 hours for yourself. That's your time to take. That's your time to take and start building yourself. And if you're not waking up hungry, if you're not waking up with a purpose, you have no goals. And that sucks. That's a shitty feeling when you're feeling lazy and unaccomplished and not feeling productive. And that's a hard thing to do as an entrepreneur because you don't have time to think of that. You have to stay focused. You have to stay sharp. You have to stay on your game every single day. And for over 10 years, people have said, you're going to die out. I haven't died out in 10 years. You know why? Because it's the mental game I care about. That mental side is pushing me to a next level where, you know what? I'm not willing to take a day off because I'm that committed to this gift. I am that committed. Even on my week off, I take 1 week off at Christmas a year. That is my only week. I am creating programs. I'm never really stopping. And an entrepreneur to me is not somebody, okay, and this is not a shot against my brother because all my family members are entrepreneurs as well in a different way. Now, you have to agree with me here. Is an entrepreneur somebody who relies only on their business or has a backup? For example, my brother works for Hydro, but he also has an electrical business. My dad works for Queens. He also has a landscape business. My brother works for the city, but he also has a horse farm. So is that a true entrepreneurship? For me, I believe the only thing a true entrepreneur can only focus on one. If you are dedicated to your craft, there is nothing else you can do because you don't have time. You're trying to build your craft as best as you can. And for over 10 years, I have gone through some of the worst shit ever. I have been bankrupt. I have been written on the internet. The worst stuff possible that you could even read, okay, about my family, friends. But what that has done for me has made me iron. It has made me tough as nails. So I don't worry about that because I'm too busy getting better. And if you are a person who wants to shoot your arrows and waste your energy kind of firing your arrows at people's faults, like you're perfect yourself, okay, then that's good for you. But for me, I am hungry. I am relentless. I am going to get better. I'm going to learn from all the mistakes I've done, and I'm going to get better. And I want to be a better person. I want to do more for the world. I want to contribute to society the best way I can because that feels good. And even small changes for me, like I started composting this year. I can't tell you how excited I am to compost. Why? Because I get to feed. Now I'm a vegetarian this year, okay? I'm not eating the animals, and now I'm feeding the animals with my extra scraps. It feels good to do good for the world. It feels good when I do a good action, I get a good reaction. It's not like you do a bad action and get a good action. It doesn't go together, okay? And every action has a reaction, so remember that. But that composting, just that small change, that little tiny bit of contribution to society to feed these pigs that are going to get some extra food, awesome. That makes me feel good, and I'm not wasting, and I'm not wasting, and my garbages aren't stinking. I feel like I'm doing good. I feel like I'm doing something better for the world. And when you start to change those little things in your life and start to adapt new positive habits, that's going to be a nice thing to do. You got to be a nice person in this world. If you want to have a good life, you have to be a good person. If you're not a good person and doing good things for people, guess what? Nobody's going to want to take care of you the same way. Don't expect that same sort of energy when you're not putting it out yourself. You have to be able to put that energy yourself, even when you don't feel like it. Even when I don't feel like waking up sometimes at 4:30 in the morning, 5 in the morning at that particular time, I know how important it is. And as soon as I'm up and as soon as I'm ready, I am gassed for the day. Then I got momentum. Now I have energy. Now I'm building my life. Now I'm switching that clock of youthfulness. If I'm putting self-care into myself, if I'm putting that time in myself, if I do my workout in the morning, I'm going to start to feel good. I'm going to start to feel, and I'm not going to feel like I'm getting older, because as I age, I try not to. Obviously, that scares me. I don't want to feel like shit. It's not about having the amazing six-pack or the jacked biceps. That's nothing. What it is I want to be able to move. I want to have the energy to get up. I want to be able to pick up my keys. Have you guys dropped your keys in a while and been like, oh my God, this is a nightmare to get up? That's the stuff that I want to be good at. Lifelong muscle building, okay? And that's why my programs have all that mixed in. It's not just strength. It's not powerlifting. It's a mix of stability. It's a mix of flexibility, mobility, strength, all the above. If you want to be all around the ultimate person, it's almost like, I'll use golf, for example. So many people just take out their driver and they use it because they're really, really strong. Well, then they have no flexibility and no putting. Let's take putting, for example, as stability. So I try and put them on one leg and they can't stand. So it doesn't really matter, if you're a good driver. If your putting game sucks, you can't be good all around. You have to work on each aspect. You have to work on your irons. You have to work on your putting. You have to work on your strike. And then you combine those skills and to synergize the best version of you possible. So if you're already a good driver or you're really strong, maybe you should work on the flexibility. Maybe you should work on the balance. Maybe you should work on the coordination. These are all different clubs in your bag. And when you can combine the best set, okay, if you're a golfer, okay, I'm not a golfer, but combine all those skills, that's when you're going to get maximum benefit. When you can combine those skills into one, okay? And for me, I want to be able to be the nicest person, the hardest worker, have the best body, be a great dad, be a great example in society, start to build my reputation better, because if you don't know, I've been written on the internet and not the nicest things, and that's okay, because you know what? That built me to be the man I am today. That darkness has turned me into a new light, and change is a wonderful thing, and sometimes we all need a reality check of what we're really being like, or what other people's perception are, but you can get better, you can evolve, you can be a better person, and that's what it's about. Who cares how you were 4 years ago, 3 years ago? What the goal is, how are you going to react now? How are you going to do better? How are you going to be better to the world? How are you going to contribute to the world? For me, I'm an entrepreneur. I love what I do. I wouldn't change this for the world. I couldn't stand on living on somebody else's terms. They were controlling my pay. They were controlling my hours. They were controlling basically my fucking life, where I couldn't do that. I am too much of, I want to do this. I am so, and an entrepreneur for me is somebody who's going to go and then quit that job and then look for gaps. You got to find gaps, and they have to be able to adapt quickly, because if you don't, like I said, this virus here has pretty much changed the world. It's changed the way people work. It's changed the way people make money. But if you are a good entrepreneur, you evolved, and most of them have actually advanced. That's an amazing thing. If you have gone and switched your whole business, I have more online. I'm busier now online, and I'm here 12, 13 hours a day working online than I was on one-on-one. And it's because I'm able to adapt. I'm able to change. I used to train, which I believe world record is 26 sessions a day in one day. My average was 23 sessions a day. I was training every single day, Monday to Friday, I should say, 22 to 23 sessions a day. And I became... It wasn't rewarding because I couldn't go any further, okay? But the worst thing was when the internet came around, which was around that 10-year push when online training started, I lost a lot of my one-on-one clients. I lost my whole business. So I had to either evolve and change and for the first bit, I admit I was stubborn. I didn't want to do the online. I hated doing the online because I hated programming. I hated writing the stuff down. I loved the idea of making programs, but I didn't want to write it down. And it was there to me that said, you know what, Tyler, why don't you get some help? Why don't you start building a team? And that's when I started realizing this is the fulfilling life I need. It's not about me, it's about we. And if we can start to build together and I can help people, they can help people, everybody wins. We're all pushing together. What an amazing synergy of energy together that makes you so much better as a person, using other people's energy, pushing you, that competitive drive, using it as teamwork and good, positive love. That's what's going to change the world. That's what's going to change things for you. When you start loving things, when you start loving yourself, first of all, but you got to start putting that time in. And you don't need to be perfect. It's never practice makes permanent. It doesn't make perfect. There is no perfect. If I have 32 abs here, okay, I want 36. It doesn't matter. There is never a point where you never want to get better. And you shouldn't never not want to get better. You should always want to improve, but accept that that is going to take forever. It's not fit for a while. It is fit for life. So that is going to take for life. But enjoy the ride. Don't get so stressed and concerned that you're not getting the results you want. Just put your fucking head down and grind. And when you lift it up 2-3 weeks later, watch the difference in your life. Watch what happens to your mentality. Watch what happens to your drive when you wake up for yourself and you have a goal and you're waking up hungry and doing stuff for you and putting that time, that necessary time in so you can build yourself. Okay? Next thing I want to talk about is, as an entrepreneur, some of the struggles I've been bankrupt almost twice, where how can you say that? I've made over $160,000 a year in just training. That's incredible. And I was still bankrupt because nobody teaches you these things. Nobody teaches you the taxes. Nobody teaches you how to run a business. It's kind of like you're thrown in there and then you screw it up. And I can almost guarantee every single entrepreneur has screwed up the tax problem issue because I've been burnt many times, but I went bankrupt, and that was hard for me because it was like, how can I go bankrupt when I'm training 22 sessions a day, okay, but I didn't do my taxes properly because I relied on other people. But then I had to say, you know what, Tyler, it's not those other people, it's you. You didn't follow through. I didn't take accountability for myself and look over all the stuff I should have done. This is my business. This is nobody else's business. This is Tyler Locke's goals. These are Tyler Locke's goals and wants that he wants. I shouldn't blame anyone else. And then I started taking that accountability. And when I started taking blame for that, I started to feel better about it. I started to feel good about taking the blame because I know it was on me. But you know what? I've accepted the success part too. And that's a hard thing for people to do. When they finally are doing good, most people won't even pat themselves on the back and say, hey, you know what? You are doing a good job. They get so hard on themselves because they think that's how they have to be. Here's a great example of a 12-year-old kid I was watching, and obviously his dad was an old school dad. He was from a different country, and he was trying to train his 9-year-old brother. But he's yelling at them and getting so angry at him, and I'm listening to this like he's trying to throw the ball. No, you idiot, you gotta go like this, thinking he's trying to motivate. No. Negativity never works. Negative motivation is not a good thing. Positive motivation, support, believing in somebody, believing in that person that is doing that program, that all they want you to do, all they want you to say is, hey, great job, you're looking better, rather than ripping anything apart. They just excited to tell you. They're excited, and then you rip them down because you're jealous because you got nothing. You're not doing anything. You're being a lazy fucking asshole, okay? So you need to bring people down, and don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to people, because we all deserve to be great. We all deserve a chance. We all deserve this life, this beautiful, amazing life that we have, that we're not taking advantage. We're not taking advantage because we're thinking that it's going to be here tomorrow, or everything's going to just disappear because of this virus and it's going to change things. Well, I got news for you, team. We want to make sure that we can be our best. We want to make sure that to do do your best, you have to start changing things. And if you're not happy with yourself right now, and if you're not happy with your goals, and you need to pick up, change things. And then things will start to change. But you need to take order, you need to take control and say, you know what? I am being average. I am being lazy here. Maybe it's in my relationship. Maybe it's in my personal, financial, my gym life, my soul life, whatever that may be. Work on yourself, okay? And, well, thank you very much, Chantel. I appreciate that. I am going to take a sip here, but I want to tell you how amazing it is to be an entrepreneur. Even though I've worked 51 weeks a year, no days off, no holidays or anything, it has been the best decision of my life. I would not give this for anyone. I have helped change so many lives. I believe I have changed more average gym goers into gym rats, and seriously be, that is my gift. I was put on this earth to motivate people, to have people think twice about themselves and give them the best version of themselves possible. And I do that because I want you guys to feel great. I know what it is to feel great. I know what it is to feel in shape and to be in the best shape of my life at 35, even better than 20, 21, 22. I've only gained. I've only got better, and I hope that you guys can focus on improving too. And improvement is the key. It's never perfection. There is no perfection. It does not exist. So when you think of an entrepreneur, guys, say something nice to them, first of all, because it is the hardest damn job in the world. Sometimes you have no support, and you have to believe in you. And when you have nobody else believing in you, that is a very, very tough thing to believe in yourself. Knowing where you're going and knowing that long term, you're going to have to put in tons and tons of work to get to where you want. And that sucks because, again, that's a lot of work that you may or may not be paid for. And you have to be willing to do that work for free, spend those extra hours for free without any compensation or expectations to get stuff back. Don't expect things. Do stuff. Do good stuff, and stuff will come back to you. Sometimes I will train a mom of 4 for absolutely free where nobody knows, and I don't want anyone to tell, and I'll do it just because I know that person needs help. And that's the good things that I'm talking about, that I want to be a better individual, to be a better dad, to be a better person. For you guys and for for Kingston, Ontario, I want to be a great example. I want to be known as the best trainer, best reputation, and change things and I believe I have over the years as I've matured, and will continue to do so and bring the best damn results possible, because I am hungry. I will never stop, and if somebody comes close, I will push harder, I will get better, and I hope you guys will join me along the way and do better too. Hope you enjoyed the podcast.